This stuff Yom Yerushalmi Challah. The articles with addition were on Mem Beis and Rav at the Mishnah Halacha Dalet, and that in the Vilna is on Chafei Rav Halacha Dalet. Today is basically we're doing one long Mishnah today, which includes in the Mishnah and Mishnayos, Mishnah Zayin, Mishnah Ches. I think that's it. Mishnah Zayin and Mishnah Ches. And then that goes all the way to Mishnah Tes. Zayin, Ches, and Tes going on to Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. Okay, so a little bit of introduction to the Mishnah. Syria is Aram Naraim and Aram Tov, which were conquered by David HaMelech. Since he conquered them before he conquered the rest of Eretz Yisrael, they are called Kibush Yochid, and they're not the same Kedusha as actual Eretz Yisrael, but they're also not the same as actual Chutz La'aretz. There's something with Syria is like Eretz Yisrael, something which is like Chutz La'aretz. If somebody purchases a field in Syria, it's Chaim and Shumas and Maises and Shemitah D'Rabbanan. But if somebody buys fruit from a non-Jew in Syria, whether they were already severed from the ground, even if they're still connected to the ground, even though a Jew completes the processing of the fruit, they're part of a meiser. Because in Syria, Paskin Yesh Kinin the Goy Afkim and a Meisers, Goy's acquisition of the land exempted from Meisers. So the Mishnah says, Yisrael recently Goyim in Syria. Yisrael who were Orisim, they were sharecroppers for Goyim in Syria. Resim Chai Peres in Meisers. Lezer says the fruit is Chayv in Meisers Shvius. The Gemara is going to explain. The Rash brings down the Mishnah. The reason their fruit in Ma'aser Shis is a knas because they became marisim to a goy, or in order that they should not become permanently settled in Syria. Or it's about a case where Moshe says it's about a case where father received a field as a sharecropper from the goy and he died, and his son took over his father's position. And we mechayev them as if they're owners, even though they're not owners, because since he's inherited the sharecropping arrangement, it looks as if he's an owner. Okay, so that's Chachamim, Rabbi Lezer, who finds the sharecropper, even though he doesn't own the land, is mechayev him in Ma'aser Shvius. Rabbi Gamliel Paiter. Real says he's exempt. Rabbi Gamliel says in Syria you take up 2 chalos from the dough, and the one of them is burnt because of Tumas Eretz Amim. Syria has Tumas Eretz Amim. Another one is given to the Kohen in order not to forget, even though it's not the real challah. The real challah is burnt in order shalot tishlakach Torah's challah. In order we should not forget the concept of challah to give to a Kohen. There's only one challah holds it since Syria is as a kedusha midrabanan. On the flip side, they didn't make a gzeir of Tumas Eretz Amim there. So therefore, since the challah doesn't become tamei, that one challah can be given to the Kohen. Also, kulo Ram Gamliel, the kulo Rabbi Eliezer. Because all the Rabbanan Chutz La'aretz, no matter which way in Syria, no matter which way you slice it. So therefore, they were making like Gamliel. Arisim for Goyim in Syria are pater from Ma'aser and Shvius, and the Kul Rebbe Lezer to say one challah, you only have to take off 1 challah and not 2 challahs. But later on, evidently, once according to Rash Sabilio and Levi Yerushalmi, once Rebbe Lezer was put in cherem, and halacha was no longer allowed to be like him, they went back to Pasuk Gamliel by both halachas, and in fact, they started setting aside in Syria and a second challah. There are 3 lands for challah. Now, in the art school, you have a map, but it's not really easy to tell from the map. It's a beautiful map of Eretz Yisrael, but it's not easy to tell what parts of the map are which parts of the map. The Rash Shabio has a map, but it's really tiny in the art school, and it's not going to come out if I show it to you on screen. So, I think we're going to have to just deal with the descriptions without the maps. There's 3 lands relevant to Challah. Eretz Yisrael Akziv, which is to the north, into Lebanon. Challah Achas. You take off 1 challah. This land was even though it's the north and into Lebanon, since it's up to Ksiv, we know the Gemara tells us several places. So in Nafka, the strip of land which goes out from Akko to Ksiv, which is part of Eretz Yisrael. And there was one challah because that's Eretz, considered Eretz so proper because it's conquered both by Olim Mitzrayim, the time they came out of Egypt, and by Olim Bavel, the time they came back from Golos Bavel. Migziv Va'ada Nahar, from Ksiv up to the Euphrates River, which is going even further north. So then that area is considered to be was only conquered by only Mitzrayim, not by Oli Bavel. So therefore, it only has, like Syria has only the status of quasi Eretz Yisrael. I'm trying to figure out if this map will do any good. Really, very hard to tell here. It's too bad because Rasho's map is better despite being tiny. I wonder if it's any larger than the Rashoyo itself. No, the Rashoyo itself is even more confusing. Okay, so in any event, so Meksiv Ad Nahar Ad Amana, which is again further north, Shtei Chalos. That has status of Oli Mitzrayim, not Oli Bavel. Two Chalos are like Syria, Achas Ur, Vachas the Kohen. One goes to the fire and one goes to Kohen. Shel Ur Yesh Lo Shir. The one which goes in the fire has a shear, which is 1/48, like any other tamei dough, because that's the ikar challah. So Kohen ain't no shear. The one which goes to Kohen has no shear. Since no yitakas chachamim, so therefore even a mashu suffices. So from the beginning of the river and inside, in other words, further to the west, further to east. I'm sorry. That wasn't even conquered by Ole Bavel, by Ole Mitzrayim. Sorry, it's Chutzlaretz. So Shnei Chalos, the two Chalos, Achas to Ur, Achas to Kohen. One goes to the fire and one goes to Kohen. Shel Ur ein Lashir, but in this case it's the opposite. The one which goes to the Ur doesn't have a shear. Shel Kohen yesh lo shear. And since the two Chalos in this case are both in Takonis Chachamim, it's in Chutz La'aretz, so really there should be no Challah. So therefore, since all both Chachamim, it's better to give more to the Kohen, at least, and not burn it. Since there's no Ikar Challah anyway, might not give more to the Kohen. Utvuyam Ochla, and the Challah which is given to the Kohen, and presumably both these cases, both in Syria and only Mitzrayim on the one hand and Chutzlaretz on the other hand, can be eaten by a Tuliyam, a Kohen who went to the mikveh, even though there was no Harev Shemesh. He didn't yet have night fall upon him, which is required in order to eat Shumar Challah Mikra Dimi, right? So, Mimas HaKonim Nichnasim Lechol, Mizar Kohen Shema, Mishal Shal Kohen Nichnasim Lechol B'Shumasan, they eat Harev Shemesh. But for this one, since it's not in Ikar Challah, so therefore a Tfuyam is allowed to eat it. And Rabbi Yossi goes even further, and he says, Eino Tzorach Tvila. He doesn't require Tvila. How Torah has to be, we'll have to find out. But he does not require going to the mikvah. But how Torah is going to be actual next line will tell us. It does require Tvila for a light tumah, but nevertheless, since it does have a shem challah, asur l'zav, and the zav is not allowed to be eaten by a zav or a zava. Nidos, yoldos, these are more severe tumas which emerge from the body of the person's tamei. But though even Rabbi Yossi, since their tumah is chamura, they have to go to the mikveh first. The Kohen can eat with the zor on the same table. We're not considering might give it to eat to the zor because it's not real challah anyway. If he tells the Kohen, it's given to any Kohen, even one who's not normally accustomed to eat chulin b'tara. In other words, he's not some makbid into b'tara. Nevertheless, again, since it's not true challah, it's going to be given to him. Elon nosim kol Kohen. These can be given to any Kohen. The following matnos kuna will be given to any Kohen, and whether he is makbid on Tara or not. Ha charamim. property of which a person made cherem, as it says in my midbar, kol cherem b'Yisrael chol yeh. Any cherem goes to a kohen. Habachoros, the firstborn animals from a kosher animal, which is tam. It's mitzvah to be brought as a korban. Ba'amum, it can be eaten by the kohen, who can invite Yisrael to eat it with on the base of the mum. So but both the tam and the ba'amum are given to the kohen. Opinion ben, the 5 shkalim opinion ben. They can go to any kohen. Obviously, tumatar is not a factor. Opinion petach hamor, the kid or lamb with which we deem the firstborn donkey. Vazro l'chaim keva, the matonis from a regular shchita, a regular animal, a chulin animal, the arms, the cheeks, and the stomach. V'eshes against first shearing of sheep. V'shemet sreifa, truma which was tamei and is has to be burnt anyway. The Kohen's benefit comes in because he's allowed to use the light or heat, which comes in when it is being burnt. This is learned from Pasuk in Bamidbar Ches Ches. It says, "Vanine sadchos mishmeres chumosai, 2 chumos, both chuma Torah and chuma tmeah." That the Kohen has benefit from it. So the kachem is bad. Korbanos reading the Kohanim in the Azara. Obviously, every Kohen who gets the Azara is being makbid to be Torah. So therefore, even a Kohen is not makbid outside the Beis Hamikdash, in the kachem is bad. He can be given similar to the B'chor Tam, which you said before. Bikurim and Bikurim, which are also again given to Kohanim in the Beis Hamikdash, where they of course all makbid and Tumatara. Rabbi Yehuda also Bikurim. Rabbi Yehuda says you can't get a Bikurim because since it's not part of any specific avodah, it's just given to the Kohen. The afraid he's going to take him home and not be makbid on Tumantara, even though in the Beis Hamikdash it's makbid, but he can take him home and not be makbid. Karshine Truma, which is primarily for animal consumption, and it can only be eaten by human beings with difficulty. Nevertheless, Chaim Truma is Meister Rabban. Rabbi Kiva permits you to give it to a Kohen who's not makbid on Tumantara, because it's not Michael Adam. Chachamim Osrim, Chachamim say you can't give it to any Kohen since they're eaten in the years of famine and the difficulty. They're considered to be have the status of Truma Torah, and therefore may not be given to a Kohen who's not going to be makbid on Tuma and Tara. And that brings us to the end of the Mishnah on Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. So we'll stop here for today. I think this is the only day I recall Yerushalmi Yomi where the entire daf was just the Mishnah.